Welcome back to Bullion IQ, the channel where we cut through the noise, ignore the hype, and focus on real financial truth. If you're someone who wants to understand what's really happening in crypto, not just what's trending on Twitter, you're in the right place. Today's video is especially important because we're talking about something XRP holders have felt for years, but very few truly understand at a deep level. XRP has not failed. XRP has been suppressed, and there is a massive difference between the two. For years now, XRP has been held down by regulatory pressure, legal battles, misinformation, and non-stop fear campaigns. The SEC tried to take XRP out of the game completely, and the XRP community knows that story better than anyone. While other projects were allowed to run freely on pure speculation, XRP was forced to fight for survival in court. And yet, despite all of that, it never disappeared, it never broke, and it kept building quietly in the background. That alone should tell you something. Here's the key thing most people miss. Suppression does not destroy utility. In fact, suppression often delays price, but it strengthens infrastructure. XRP is not designed to win a hype contest. It is designed to move real value at scale across borders. That's why the moment suppression ends, everything changes. When utility finally takes control, speculation becomes irrelevant. There will come a point where retail hype, emotional trading, and social media hopium no longer drive the price. Instead, real liquidity flowing through the XRP ledger, trillions moving through real-world payment rails. Markets can stay irrational longer than people expect, but they cannot ignore real usage forever. When institutions need speed, efficiency, and cost reduction, they don't care about narratives, they care about results. XRP was engineered specifically for that environment. In this video, I want to lay that foundation properly, discussing why XRP's price has stayed muted, why the escrow system is misunderstood, and why the arguments against XRP fall apart when you look at the data. Let's start with something that still confuses people, the XRP escrow. Even after all these years, many still get it wrong. The truth is, the escrow system is not bearish. It is extremely bullish for long-term holders. Every month, up to 1 billion XRP is unlocked. This is completely predictable with no surprises. What most people fail to mention is that historically, around 70% to 80% of that XRP is relocked almost immediately. This means the actual net new supply entering the market is typically in the range of 200 to 300 million XRP. There are still around 38 billion XRP locked in escrow, which is a massive amount of supply off the market. Unlike many projects, this system is fully transparent and visible on-chain. Institutions love this predictability because it builds trust and confidence. This month, despite a routine escrow release, the price of XRP actually went up, destroying the narrative that Ripple is constantly dumping and suppressing the price. The real driver going forward will be demand created by utility. We need to talk about Ripple's actual level of control. Many people speak as if Ripple can decide to dump everything or change the rules whenever they want. That is simply not how the system works. The escrow mechanism is automated and baked directly into the XRP ledger. Ripple cannot accelerate the release, unlock more early, or override the system. Once the XRP is released into Ripple-controlled wallets, only then does Ripple have choices, supporting liquidity through ODL corridors, allocating for partnerships, or relocking it. Historically, around 700 million XRP is relocked monthly. This is a voluntary action creating new escrows that typically last another 55 months. If the goal were to flood the market, there would be no reason to relock anything. The system was intentionally built to be predictable, transparent, and tamper resistant for institutional grade finance. Cryptocurrency does not exist in isolation, it interacts with global markets. Right now, the macro environment is creating conditions that could accelerate XRP's utility. U.S. job openings are dropping, signaling a slowdown in labor demand. This puts pressure on the Federal Reserve to maintain growth through liquidity injections or interest rate adjustments. When liquidity floods markets, assets positioned to absorb large scale capital flows, like XRP, benefit. While macro events create short term volatility, they don't change the fundamental trajectory. What will influence price most significantly is growing adoption.